For some reason, so for some reason I'm in two groups,
Okay.
and I don't think I could like leave one, but one of them I like submitted the work and stuff for.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's like a deduct me for being in a group and not submitting anything.
Everything, you can resubmit anything. So even if I'd rather you do something, make a mistake, and end up.
Because it just shows me in here. I didn't do the thing for that. I just did it for the other
Okay.
program.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what'll happen. Okay. Welcome back. Hello. Hey. All right. I know it's exciting. All the snow, barely making it to class because there's ice all over the sidewalks. But here we go. Off to another day, another dollar, some more dynamics. How's it going so far? I got questions about the class, and for the most part, I'm swamped with emails right now from lots of other stuff going on, so I haven't been able to keep up with class emails. Main discussion spot would be our course discussion, so joining teams, and then like asking questions there. And I'll monitor that, and that way, usually, like if there's one person with a question of like, what is this AI assignment? How do I do it? There's at least 50 other people in a class of 100. So so we can all share information this way. I mean, personal information, like that's okay. That's okay over email. Like, I don't want you sharing like too much of yourself online that you're not comfortable with. But just quick update there. One person could not get this link to work when they were trying to click on it, but it kept asking them for a code. So I found like our Teams discussion code. Maybe that will help like find where that discussion page is. And again, some logistics stuff. What I wanted to do today was I had thought about like recording a video about how to do those AI assignments, but I thought it would be more helpful to just try it together and then talk about like what's worthwhile, what's working, how do you approach this, and like how to know what to pay attention to and what to ignore and those kind of things, especially with AI. It can be a very helpful tool. It can also be a very distracting, like data for ads sort of generator, where it's just trying to keep you engaged so that they can get more data and sell more ads, or bump up. I don't know how business works. Business papers. They're trying to like get more papers, something. How does that sound for a start for today? Go through the quiz. Did anyone try it yet? Yeah? How did it go? It was good? Okay, yeah, there we go. It's good. That sounds great. So main thing is you have to like click like start assignment so it actually shows you what to do. And once you do that, it'll show you this link. The link, we're here in the bleeding edge of technology, so there's gonna be bugs here and there. What should happen is it should load, it kind of refreshes and refreshes again, but then it should ask you like, hey, do you want to install this app from Cooper, Ryan? And then you can click that, and then I can steal all of your data. Ha ha ha. UConn owns all of your data. Like everything you do here, UConn already owns it. Like I'm barely scratching the surface of your identity theft. And then on top of that, we have like so many contracts with like Microsoft. So Microsoft has so much of our data. Another thing, one weird hack that seemed to work here was like if you click this link, loads, you click install and nothing happens. For some reason, if you create your own agent, you can start importing other agents. I don't know why, but it's kind of like 1 in 20 people have this problem where they can't install an agent until they actually build one. Have you ever created an AI agent before? Yes?
Yes.
What kind of agent did you make?
I used some, it was an image processing.
Oh, cool. Image processor? Yeah, yeah, nice. Has anyone else tried it before? All right, so we'll try this. It's also giving you a little bit of a glimpse of like what our reading modules are actually doing. So we'll check it out. So if it's not working, let's say like this one still says, welcome to Copilot, and like something, I don't know. We'll come down here and click on, in the sidebar, say new agent. Oh, you know what? I lost my F3. Keep above. There we go. Okay. So we're going to make a new agent. This one is, we need something that we can have like access to an internet site. Maybe like a Pokemon, a Pokédex sort of thing. Is there a Wikipedia page for Pokemon? What's that one called? All right, do some research. So, Pokemon scientist. So then this is really where like the actual creation happens, is in these instructions. This is where I tell it things like, okay, you're going to give a quiz, you need to be helpful, and these kind of things. In this case, I'm just going to give it a persona of like, you are a Pokemon scientist, you need to help me identify and categorize Pokemon. So this one's like pretty simple. You can give it more instructions. It recognizes Markdown. So if you put things like be nice, it's going to really listen to that. Like be nice is more important than the rest of the things that I said. All right, so what is the Pokemon, like how do I find like Pokemon information? What website is it? I know somebody's got to know this. Share the wealth. What is it? Isn't there like a Pokemon wiki? Oh, it's just Pokemon wiki? Like that? Oh, there's a Bulbapedia. All right, let's just grab this one. So now I added like a specific website as its first check of like, hey, go to this website. It's not creating like there's retrieval augmented generators, RAGs, so it's not like a RAG AI. It's not an advanced thing, but it's going to try to comb through this data and see if it can grab some context. That's what I did with our course website, with that engineering dynamics website. I just put it into that. So let's create it. And let's go to my new agent. Again, you don't have to create an agent, but if you have other courses, like if you kind of like this assignment and you like that it's generating like things for you, like possible test questions or homework questions, you can grab like Wikipedia sites connected to other classes, put them inside of an agent, and then say, hey, generate some stuff for me and give yourself some practice. Very helpful if you're using it as a tool to augment your learning. Not very helpful if you're just sort of like scrolling, like doom scrolling through it, and just like, ah, yes, check, check, check. So anyway, all right. So we have Pokemon scientist. I can't spell. I forgot the I at the end, but that's okay. I have a fox-looking animal that keeps shocking me. What is it? Or maybe cat looking, I don't know. And sure enough, it says, like, as a neighborhood Pokemon and a friendly neighborhood Pokemon scientist, Joltik? I was expecting Pikachu or Jolteon. Jolteon? Does that sound right? I would have expected Pikachu, right? I guess he's not fox enough. Mouse? Mouse? Doesn't look like a mouse. I mean, he's small. But Jolteon, I guess because I said fox, right? But anyway, now we have this agent. So if it wasn't working, you can try creating your own agent, and then it should import that Module 1 Dynamics coach. Sound good? Okay, so now, since I've already done the work of learning dynamics, I'm not going to try to learn about something. I'm just going to jump straight into quiz me. Show me what you got. And it's just copying and pasting that prompt and then entering it. So now it starts off with a kinematics problem. Okay, so in my own words, what's the difference between velocity and acceleration? Did anyone else get the same question? Yeah? I've seen this one pop up more than once. The last class we got a different one. I don't have temperature control on this AI agent, which I think is kind of a cool nod to thermodynamics, because higher temperature means more entropy in your model, like it comes up with more random stuff. A zero temperature model always picks the most likely word next. Okay, so in my own words, velocity, acceleration. Acceleration is the derivative of velocity over time. At least that's what I think. Oh, too mathematical. Don't take my math from me. What do you think I was wrong with that? It was too mathy? Maybe it's just like, this guy's obviously a professor. Like, nerd. Conceptually correct. How would you describe it? What is velocity versus acceleration? I nailed it. Derivative. What else would it be? How else would you describe acceleration? Someone told me this is like a wagon rut. Like, once they see the answer, they're never going to come up with a new answer. Does that happen to you? Like, velocity will always be, or acceleration will always be derivative of velocity. You can't think of a new way of describing it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How fast? Oh, and in what direction? Kind of like that. How your velocity is changing. Yeah. Okay, so coming up next, if velocity is constant, what is its acceleration? It's got to be 0, right? Let's say, ask a harder question. Because that one was too easy. We knew it too quickly. So let's see what it comes up with. Ooh, an alpha in there? All right, got some Greek letters. Using only conceptual reasoning. What does this acceleration law imply about the particle's motion over time? What do you think about this one? Have you ever seen an acceleration that looks like this? Has anyone done skydiving? Yeah? It's a terminal velocity equation of saying like what is, so usually like drag from air is a velocity squared term. So that's where that alpha is something, like a coefficient of drag, your area, density of air, like a few different things that all turn into one constant, maybe 1/2 or 0.35. So if you think about it that way, if you kind of take that math equation and turn it into like, okay, well, what forces could be proportional to velocity squared? That's like drag. That's like drag on an airplane or a falling person or a squirrel. So how does the velocity change on a falling object with drag? So as you start moving really fast, what happens? We already mentioned like terminal velocity. So what is that? Like what is terminal velocity? What does that mean? It's the last velocity you'll ever have. It's terminal. Yeah? Have you heard this term before, terminal velocity? Have you calculated it before? Yes? No? So who has calculated? How did you do it? Yeah. How do you do it? Don't remember. Okay, that's all right. How did you do it? How do you get like your terminal velocity? What happens? Oh, there was someone in the back. Like, have hood.
Well, I was just gonna say.
Yeah. Oh, what is it?
It's like the fastest you can go with air resistance. It's kind of like when gravity and air resistance cancel out.
Yeah. So it's when your force of gravity equals your force of drag. So your acceleration hits 0. So at some point, this a of v would be 0 if we were traveling, if it was like mg minus alpha v. But here, there is no mg. So what's going to happen to what's our terminal velocity if there's no gravity? What would that look like? Mg is 0. Mg equals alpha v squared. So what's v squared? 0, right? So it'll start off at some number and approach 0 somehow. We don't know exactly how. Well, some people might be like, it's a hyperbolic tangent, Professor Cooper. But it's like, show off. So we could say something like that. Velocity will start off at some initial value and approach 0 as time goes on, like a terminal velocity problem with no gravity. Let's see what it thinks of this. So this one, AI, it's using some math terms, and again, it's very bad at doing so AI, I'm stating a fact, AI is very bad at doing math. It does not do math. So it uses math words because we use math words in our language. I mean, not normal people, but us as engineers, we use them. So it's saying like, it approaches zero asymptotically, but in reality, you know it'll slow down and stop. It does stop, and it gets like moving. If your initial speed is 10 meters per second, and you're asymptotically approaching zero, by the time you're at the 1 millimeter per second, it's zero. There's no difference between a car moving 1 millimeter per second and zero. It's just almost immeasurable at that point. So again, take this with a grain of salt. You are supposed to be the expert. This AI is supposed to like help you identify things to be an expert about. Decay is like 1/t. I don't know about that. Oh, slower than exponential decay. I see. Yeah. And now it's asking about a particle in a straight line, constant negative acceleration. What is this one asking? Give me a different question. I don't like that one. I don't know. I don't know if anybody else had like an emotional attachment to that one. Of like, oh, but I love curly brackets. But I didn't like it. I feel like the AI, because I said make it harder, it's just like throwing some Greek letters in there. I don't know. I'd be interested to know if that's a universal thing, of like, if it's hard, it has Greek letters. Maybe that's just how things go. Particle moves where beta t implicitly by beta x squared plus gamma. This one looks weird to me because it's telling you time as a function of position. Usually it's position as a function of time. I don't know. It is, you can always like invert it and say x is square root of t. If time grows faster or slower, what does that imply about velocity? Why would time is the independent variable? I'm gonna correct it. I can't help myself. Time is the independent variable. Why would it increase faster than position? I can't help myself. Alright, so it wants us to do like some fancy dx dt kind of work. So take the derivative of it and look at what's happening. Alright, so let's try this one instead. So if velocity has this exponential decay, so e to the negative kt, what does the acceleration look like? What is the acceleration? What's the derivative of like an exponential of just e to the t? What's the derivative ddt of e to the t? It's the same thing. So the constant's gonna change. Like as you take derivatives, there's a chain rule involved, but for the most part, if v is e to the negative kt, a is also e to the negative kt. Some other constant, but for the most part, a is also acceleration. So 1 a, I'm gonna look proportional to e to the negative kt. Does the particle come to a complete stop? If velocity, so now what's the integral of e to the negative t? E to the negative t. What is it? It's still an e to the negative t. Again, the constant kind of flips around, but it's so at some point there's going to be some like constant value. I think the word that it's looking for is asymptotically approaching, since the last time it was like it doesn't actually asymptotically. I don't know, asymptotic, like that, something like that. I don't know. We'll learn all sorts. I would like to know that one in sign language. Asymptotic, A-S-Y. It's Greek. So I think asymptotically, yes, this thing. Asymptotic. Position and 0 speed. I guess that's 2 and 3, right? And I don't know, it's thinking about it. Excellent, reasoning is fine. Yeah, and sure enough, it's like, it approaches it asymptotically, but for the most part, it will stop. Like, it definitely stops. It's something, as engineers, oh my God. All right, so it just keeps so it's gonna keep asking questions. Is this one worth doing? No, I don't wanna do this one. So I'm just gonna say, give me a grade. And explain the difference between static. Okay, and then it does give me a grade based on what I've answered so far. And again, use this as a tool. If it's helping, you can kind of keep asking it for questions. You can ask for harder ones or easier ones. It will also, because it's an AI tool designed to engage you and keep you there, you can also just tell it to give you the answers. It doesn't really help you learn anything if you don't try anything, but from what I found, if I just keep saying, like, tell me how to do it, it will just give me all the answers, and then I haven't really tried anything. So the main thing is, like, it's giving you things that you should practice rather than just shortcutting stuff. All right, so let's so the main thing here is just click and start highlighting and go all the way up the page and grab all of this, just the whole discussion from test my knowledge all the way to the final answer. Just copy and paste that right into the Husky CT submission. There are ways where you can, like, turn this into like a Microsoft document, but here it's just going from HTML, and then Husky CT everything is in HTML anyway, So it works pretty well, like it copies over. So we'll copy it. And then I'm not in student mode, so it won't let me do it, but I would say paste it into there. Yeah, so it just like pastes it all in there. And how's that? What questions do we have? Either logistics or any concepts that might have come up, because we were just kind of flying through some different concepts of dynamics there. What questions are there? Nothing? It's all super clear. Nothing. Yeah. How many questions? I'd say 4. When I told the AI to like ask 4 questions, and it's saying like at least 4. So sometimes by time I've tried it and it's gotten up to like 9 questions, and like, dude, like I'm done. So I'd say 4, and if you're getting some good practice out of it, or if the questions seem easy, you can try to bump up the hardness, or just try asking or answering more questions. The main thing is trying to demonstrate that you're engaging with the material that we're trying to cover. So if it asks you 4 questions and they're all the same 4 questions, then just try like pushing it somewhere else. Of like, hey, ask me something about, like in our case, it didn't ask me anything about coming in here. I mean, mostly it did kinematics and stuff, but it didn't really get into like equations of motion. So I could have said like, hey, give me a question on equations of motion or something, at least if you want to. But again, use it as it helps you to kind of engage with the material. Yeah. So here, there's no like direct connection between Copilot Husky CT. So you have to highlight the whole discussion, copy, and then paste it. Yeah. I think like in the actual assignment, there's I can show you the student view. It just takes a second to load up, but as we get here, this one I don't love. I like the new Ultra version, but I don't love that when you click on an assignment, the first thing it tells you is like, this is how many points it's worth, there's a rubric, like it's way too much information that is not the assignment. So I don't love that. This is a reminder that I'd rather you do something wrong than do nothing. So try it. You can resubmit anything as many times as you want, with or without a grade. So if you try something and you totally bork it, and the TA is like, what were you doing? Like, I'm not sure what assignment you did, but this looks weird. You can resubmit it and say like, oh yeah, totally, like this is from a totally different class. I just put it in the wrong spot. Resubmit it, get the points back. So anyway, in Husky CT with Ultra, in order to see what to do, you have to say like view instructions. So now that I have instructions, there's a submission right here, and just paste it right in there. Yeah, and sure enough, it's just like one long. It gets most of the stuff in there pretty well. I think the only things that don't show up great are like here as it catches up. There's an equation. The equation is there. It just doesn't look as pretty as the rendering that Copilot gives it. But that's okay. We're just trying to get a sense of like what you were trying to demonstrate with this conversation, AI conversation. I can't do that for you, Michael. And that's it. Save and close. I'm gonna discard that info. Okay, other things coming up? I'm about to lose power because I didn't plug in my computer. There we go. How is group assigning, group like self-enrollment going? Good? Some people good? Some good? Some okay? This one's kind of weird for me because there's no way for me to like test it as a student. Usually everything I do is like individual submission, so I'm not dealing with the technology of group assignments. But so far, is anyone just, so one comment that came up at the end of section 1 was, I don't know anybody in this class. How am I supposed to join a group? Is anyone in that boat? Because we need to introduce you to some friends. We need to make friends. Part of this class is going to be making some friends. I would argue it's one of the most important things that you'll do here at UConn is, like, yes, the engineering degree is important. Yes, you'll learn lots of technical, cool stuff. But you're going to meet people that you'll know for the rest of your life, and you're all going to have different careers that can help each other and probably will help each other. So meet somebody new in this class, try something different, reach out. There's multiple ways to contact people. Either like in Husky CT, you can see everyone in both our section and section 1. You should be able to see all the groups and who they are. You can either reach out to them through Husky CT or through Teams. And Teams is also a great place to like reach out, like, hey, been working on this. I'm looking for a team on like whatever. This first, for right now, all we've done is that philosophy of engineering, philosophy of dynamics so far. Yeah.
Is there a reason why there's 2 submit projects in groups?
There's a new project. I wanted to get some feedback on how groups are going first, but the next thing coming up is our first case problem, like doing some dynamics work. And my plan is, how much time do we have? When did we start? Do we have 10 minutes? I keep forgetting. 10 minutes left, right? All right. I don't want to jump into a whole new problem right now, but on Friday, we'll start taking a look at this. And the goal for this class is that if you're here for these 50-minute sections, all the work will get done, and you can submit that work and be done with it. You can always resubmit stuff, so that would be like outside class time, but there shouldn't be bringing like homework, like graded items home with you. You should always have like me and other classmates to help work through problems through the whole semester. Does that sound doable? No. I only work alone, like Batman. Sound like a plan? So this will be for Friday. You can take a look at it. It's up there now. But we're going to look at like 3 different mechanisms of trying to like stop an object that's falling. And then main thing would be like graphing like what happens as it hits those 3 different stoppers. So we'll look at that. Start on Friday and then keep working on it through next week. Okay, so there's only a couple minutes left. If you don't have groups or you have questions, I'll stop here. I'll stop streaming now. I'm here for another 10 minutes. We can answer things. We can figure out how to get through some stuff. There's been a lot of changes through the last 2 weeks as we're coming into this class, and we'll get through it together. Sound good? All right, we'll do that. I'll see you on Friday.